And did I already tell you about the fun lightning storm that we went through? The lightning bolts, they hit all around the boat.
Yeah, so we decided to take the Gulf Stream to get as far north as possible and then turn east, hopefully with westerly winds. So this route is about 400 miles longer, but hopefully if the Gulf current will push us with about 2 to 3 knots, it's definitely the faster one. So yeah, let's see how it goes. For 2 days now, and at least gonna stay for the next 2 days like that. So yeah, quite rough, I would say. Small boat.
After around 24 hours anchoring with our yellow quarantine flag in front of the marina in Horta, we were finally picked up for a COVID test they still demanded after being 4 weeks at sea. We could understand, as you never really know where a boat with its crew is really coming from, as people arriving here come from all over the Atlantic.
So we are finally checked in here in Horta in the Azores and are here in the marina. We got a berth next to a French boat here inside the harbor, so yeah, check out where we are now. So that's the famous wall where you paint your ship sign. And yeah, and we finally go ashore after 29 days at sea and gonna check out Peter's sports bar today. Yay! That's where all the sailors go. So good to arrive here at the Azores at Horta. And behind us is Pico, the volcano. So in the next few days I think we're gonna take a ferry over there and maybe spend there a day or two, and yeah, maybe do a small hike. Yeah, but first enjoying the first steps on land.
Awesome, huh? You there?
Peter Café Sport is no ordinary cafe. It is an institution with a long tradition. It was founded in 1918 by Enrique Azevedo as Café Sport. In the early years, a colorful crowd sat here together enjoying the famous gin. Simple sailors next to rough whalers, employees of the international telegraph companies next to the adventurous transatlantic pilots. At that time, Horta was a transshipment and supply port for the whaling industry. With Henrique's son José, who died in 2005, the café became Peter Café Sport. During World War II, an English captain gave José the nickname because he reminded him of his son Peter. As a post office for those crossing the Atlantic, José alias Peter kept letters and packages for sailors, exchanged exotic currencies, and, if necessary, arranged contact with local sailmakers, boat builders, and mechanics. In times of electronic communication and cashless payment transactions, postal and money changing services are rarely used today. The colorful flags and pennants from all over the world are actually only a fraction of those left in the wooden paneled interior as an expression of gratitude for help received or advice given. On the first floor, a special kind of museum surprises the visitor, the Scrimshaw Museum. The Azevedo family has been collecting art on whale teeth, the ivory of the sea, since 1888. The engraved whale teeth only became an expensive collector's item with John F. Kennedy, who was a passionate Scrimshaw collector. On the Monte d'Aguia, a mount overlooking the town, we had picturesque views on Horta and its surroundings the following days. In this very bay, called Porto Pim, the early whale hunting fleets sheltered in. Today, Porto Pim is a great place for relaxing and having a good bit to eat. Ah, da ist die Automiedstation. Können wir gleich mal gucken und fragen.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's go to the supermarket.
Go to supermarkets. So arrived yesterday here in Horta. Yeah, had a nice evening out with some Norwegian guys from Romsdal, and I don't know the other boat's name actually.
No, me neither.
Whatever. Yeah, so now going to the supermarket to buy some nice fresh stuff. Yeah.
For reasonable prices,
For
huh?
reasonable prices.
After a long time.
And then enjoy a little bit harbor life again. So, yeah, since we left Europe, actually we visited only 3 harbors. So, one was in Panama, one in Tahiti, and yeah, so, and here back again. Yeah, well, one in Panama as well, on the way back from the Pacific. So Panama twice, Shell Bay Marina. Last place where you can take a shower before the Pacific. And
Hello to Juanjo.
hello to Juanjo. Yeah, Juanjo. Yeah. And yeah, and now here in Horta.
What is so special about this harbor, Ilya?
This harbor is the 3rd most visited harbor by yachts in the world. So all the people who circumnavigate, they meet here, more or less, and write all this fancy stuff on the walls. We're gonna do it as well. Yeah. So we are honored to be part of this whole sailors group. So we're totally escalating here in the supermarket, and it's just the price, for example, for pineapple, same price as for a kilo of scampi's, shrimps. So, and if you do shop in Portugal, there's also some priorities on the beer, because it's super cheap here. So here we go. So, been yesterday in a small bar, and that's the music from the Honky Tonk Band. They are on a sailboat, and yeah, musicians on a sailboat. So we got a CD, and did some groceries today, because they had a rental car, and now Sienna preparing all the cans.
Even though the weather wasn't as great, known to be changing very rapidly here, we decided to leave the famous harbor of Horta, as well as safely tied up Thula behind to check out Faial with 4 wheels. Faial lies at 38 degrees north and 28 degrees west, being part of the central group of the volcanic Azores archipelago. Latitude-wise, it is roughly found on the height of Lisbon or southern Sardinia. It measures 21 by 14 kilometers and is the 5th biggest island of the archipelago, lying in the midst of the endless expanses of the Atlantic Ocean. From the Azores, it's about 760 miles, 1,500 kilometers to Portugal. Traveling to the west for about 2,000 miles, 3,700 kilometers, you finally reach the American continent. Nothing comes north for a long time until you hit Greenland's coasts. Also a destination for more daring sailors leaving from here. If a yacht heads straight south, weeks later, its crew will find itself surrounded by Antarctic icebergs. Hills, inlets, formations resulting from volcanic activity, picturesque green pastures, and the mass of hydrangeas dividing the fields and lining along the roadsides give Faial the name Ilha Azul, the Blue Island.
We are here at Faial Islet at the lighthouse of Ribeirinha. Yeah, as you can see, it's probably been destroyed in the earthquake in the late 50s. So let's check it out. This was the lighthouse before, and now in the modern days, this is the modern lighthouse. blau machen, wie so eine blaue Tür.
Hey. Mit dem Nebel, ne?
Das ist wirklich schönes Fell, ne?
Ich glaube, den kann man sogar streichen. Nee.
We tried our luck up to Faial's caldera, but no chance. Even though it smelled beautifully everywhere and was a very special atmosphere around, with super nice hiking trails through the forest.
Easy. Minze.
Wow.
We made a few more pit stops, being surprised by a beautiful lush green but rugged coastline shaped through agriculture, valleys, a low-lying faja formed through landslides or lava flows. And speaking of lava, our last pit stop for the day was Capelinos. At Porto do Comprido, we found the relics of an old whaling station that was the largest and most productive one in the Azores until 1957, when the eruption of Carpelinos began. The area in the front harbor, even though unimaginable in this sort of weather, was used to dismantle cachalots, sperm whales. Even though the day had started out cloudy, we'd enjoyed some really sunny spells, giving the island a totally different light. Next time we'll explore more of the Azores. Having a look at Faial underwater, checking out La Maddalena on Pico, and then hop over with Thula to São Jorge, sticking high out of the Atlantic like a dragon's back. A true backpackers and bird paradise. Subscribe on our channel to experience more of our sailing and island adventures. Through a little financial support, whose amount you decide yourself, you have access to the newest video we edit on our own beforehand. Press on the Patreon button to see how it works. And at this point, we'd once again like to really express our gratitude to our followers and patrons for supporting us on our journeys. See you next time. And now it's time for making our own painting. So let's see what it's gonna be like.
I met an old man. I said, tell me your story. He took out an old pen and wrote something for me. Then he kept walking on down the road, and I watched him disappear like smoke. And I thought I'd just seen a ghost. Then I looked down at what he wrote. It said, son, when you grow up you'll be fine. I know you've got questions on your